I used to think forests were just trees. Now I know better. They watch, they remember, and they don't let go. It started with a classified ad. 2 weeks. Remote surveillance, firewatch tower, excellent pay, no contact, no questions. It sounded too good, which meant I didn't have a choice. I was months behind on rent. They offered me just enough to buy silence. I signed the NDA. They flew me in on an unmarked helicopter at dusk. No signal, no roads, no way back. The pilot never looked me in the eye. Before he left, he handed me a black notebook and said only one thing: do not engage with the forest. The tower stood on a ridge of black pine. Steel bones rusted but stable. Inside, modernized. Solar panels, sensors, silent generators. A radio, 3 monitors, 1 cot, 1 bathroom. Everything smelled wrong, like metal and blood under fresh paint. First night, I tried to sleep, but the quiet wasn't peaceful. It was watchful. A dense, pressing silence that made my ears ring. At 2:17 a.m., the motion alert chimed. One of the perimeter cameras caught movement in Sector 4. I stared at the monitor. A tall, gray figure drifted between trees. It didn't walk. It hovered. Long limbs, no visible joints. Its head tilted like it didn't understand gravity. It stopped, turned to the camera. It had no face, just indentations where eyes and a mouth should be. Then the screen went black. I checked the logs. The footage had never existed. Next day, I noticed the symbols, spirals carved deep into tree bark, geometric patterns in unnatural symmetry. Not random, not natural. They always faced the tower. By the 3rd day, I started hearing things. Not through the radio, through the walls. Voices, not loud, but close, like someone whispering from inside the metal. We remember the fire. You are not the first. The forest wants you to stay. I thought it was lack of sleep. But then the tower changed. I woke one morning and the door was gone. Just smooth wall where it should have been. Panicked, I ran to the back. The emergency hatch was welded shut. Hours later, the door reappeared. But when I opened it, the outside wasn't the same. The trail was gone. Trees shifted when I blinked. My footprints vanished behind me. I walked in a straight line for 4 hours, marked trees, dropped stones, tied a flare string. I returned to the tower from the opposite side. Time inside became elastic. The sun rose too fast. The moon stayed too long. At one point, I watched it reverse in the sky. On day 7, I woke to banging beneath the floorboards. Something was crawling in the supports. Something heavy. The steel groaned. Then a voice from the vent, "Let us in. It's cold." That night, my reflection started moving wrong. It blinked when I didn't. Tilted its head a fraction slower. When I leaned closer, it whispered, "Your body is learning the roots." On the 9th night, the cameras showed children, naked, hair matted with mud, standing still between the trees, staring upward. Their mouths moved in silence. I muted the feed. The motion sensor glowed red. Every screen now displayed a different room. Rooms I'd never seen. Bedrooms, basements, hospital corridors. But all of them had one thing in common. The same tower, reflected in a window. That night, the generator turned itself off. I lit a candle. In the flame, I saw eyes, not reflections. Eyes staring back, blinking, watching. The next morning, I checked the black notebook the pilot gave me. It had changed. The pages had multiplied. On page 213, it simply read, "You are a vessel now." Then I noticed the spiral symbol burned into my arm. It hadn't been there before. On day 11, the tower began breathing. The walls expanded and contracted, groaning like lungs. My radio screeched static, then cleared. A voice almost like mine. "You've almost ripened. Just one more night." I screamed. No sound came out. The spotlight turned on. It focused on a tree directly across the clearing. Hanging from it, a body, mine, or something made to look like me, eyes open, smiling wide, swaying in windless air. The forest began to whisper again. This time it wasn't just voices. It was memories. Other people's memories. Their last thoughts. Regret, terror, burning. Over and over. They put us in the roots. The tower was never a shelter. It's a mouth. The walls of the tower bled sap. Thick, black, and warm. I touched it. My veins burned. I passed out. I awoke lying outside. Tower behind me. Clothes soaked in blood and bark. Something had etched a ring of symbols in the dirt around me. I crawled inside. The monitors were all off, but something had written across the main screen in flickering green letters. "Welcome to the canopy." And then the beacon activated. It wasn't light. It was soundless color, a vibrating green pulse that spread through the trees like a shockwave. The forest answered. Every pine needle shivered in perfect rhythm. Shapes rose from the soil. Not bodies, not people. Echoes. Hollowed-out shells made of bark and old teeth and memory. They moved toward the tower. Dozens, then hundreds. Each wearing a human face, but twisted, old, ancient, ageless. I locked the hatch. I prayed. I cried. Then I looked up and realized the ceiling had disappeared. Above me, a swirling void of stars, not the sky, opened, and from it, roots descended. Roots that pulsed with light and language. They spoke directly into my mind. "You are the new observer. You are the lens. The forest sees through you now." I lost time. I lost form. I became part of the tower, of the forest, of everything. And then, just like that, I woke up in my apartment. Sunlight, my phone, a TV playing the news, like nothing happened, except the taste of ash in my mouth. I rushed to the window. Across the street, where only pavement had been, stood a watchtower. Identical. Silent. And in the top window, someone waved. He looked like me, but his smile was wrong. Now every night, the light comes on. It casts long green shadows across my bedroom floor, and I hear them whisper, "You brought the tower back." The roots remember. We are already inside. The forest never forgets. It doesn't die. It grows. And now, I do too.